You're standing in your father's office when the gunshots start downstairs. 3 loud cracks, then silence. Your father, the man whose name makes entire cities whisper, doesn't even look up from his desk. He calmly pours 2 glasses of tequila like this is just another quarterly earnings call. Relax, he says. Hostile takeover attempt. Outside the window, the compound lights flicker on, trucks screech, men shout. The security team is doing what they always do, protecting the company's most valuable asset. The brand, your family. You're 19 years old, wearing a suit that costs more than a teacher's annual salary, watching your first corporate crisis unfold in real time. Except this company doesn't sell phones or cars. It sells powder, fear, and loyalty. Your father slides a pistol across the desk like it's a company badge. Welcome to the family business. That's the moment it hits you. You're not just the boss's kid, you're the successor. And tonight is your first board meeting, born with a monopoly, the golden cage you were born into, what economists would call a market leader. Your father didn't build a small operation. He built an empire with better logistics than Amazon and more loyal employees than any Fortune 500 company. Entire ports answer his phone calls. Politicians shake his hand. Police departments treat his shipments like VIP packages. And from the day you were born, you were listed as the future CEO of this shadow corporation. The problem: you never wanted the job. As a kid, you spent your time reading business books, dreaming about building something clean, something legitimate, tech startups, real companies. You thought maybe you could pivot the family brand. Take all that capital, all that infrastructure, and turn it into something legal. But your father doesn't believe in pivots. He believes in dominance. To him, morality is just bad accounting. And in his world, emotions are liabilities. The internship, learning the real business model at 16, your father decides it's time for your training program. No classrooms, no textbooks, just a tour of the supply chain. You ride along to warehouses where forklifts move bricks of product like they're pallets of bottled water. You sit in smoky rooms where accountants, yes, actual accountants, launder millions through shell companies like financial magicians. This cartel doesn't feel like a gang, it feels like a corporation. There are departments, logistics, security, finance, marketing, mostly fear. Your father explains it like a CEO presenting a growth strategy. People think this business is about drugs, he says. It's not. It's about control. He shows you maps of distribution networks stretching across continents, profit margins that would make Silicon Valley investors drool. And one brutal rule written into the company culture: loyalty is rewarded, disloyalty is deleted. Your first deal, selling your conscience. One night, a lieutenant named Rafa pulls you aside. A shipment has been intercepted. Someone tipped off the police. There's a suspect, a kid your age. Rafa hands you a folder, photos, phone records, bank statements. You're the boss's son, he says, so you make the call. It feels like your first executive decision. Except the decision isn't about layoffs or strategy. It's about whether someone lives. You stare at the file for hours. Your brain runs the numbers like a spreadsheet. Option A, let him live. Risk future leaks. Option B, make an example, protect the brand. Finally, you give the order. Rafa nods like you just approved a budget. And just like that, the company posts its first profit under your leadership. But something inside you takes a permanent loss. Ailing the empire, the perfect successor word spreads fast. The boss's kid isn't soft. You're smart, cold, and strategic. You start optimizing the operation like a Silicon Valley founder who just discovered unlimited venture capital. You digitize communications, diversify routes, invest in crypto laundering. Your father watches from the sidelines, impressed. For the first time in your life, he looks proud. Now you're thinking like a businessman, he says. The empire grows faster than ever. Profits double, rivals disappear, and the board, your father's inner circle, starts whispering something dangerous. Maybe the son is smarter than the king. The hostile takeover power has a strange side effect. The more you get, the more logical it feels to want everything. You begin noticing things. Your father's decisions are emotional, old school, inefficient. He still runs the empire like it's 1995. You run it like a startup scaling globally. One night during a strategy meeting, he rejects your biggest proposal, a massive expansion into new markets. It's too risky, he says, but you know the truth, he's afraid. And suddenly the realization hits you like a lightning bolt in a boardroom. Every empire eventually changes leadership, some through retirement, others through acquisition. The ultimate promotion, the mansion hallway feels strangely quiet. The bodyguards nod as you walk past. Why wouldn't they? You're the heir, the chosen one. You enter your father's office without knocking. He's sitting in his chair, reviewing numbers. He looks up. For a moment he smiles, probably expecting another report. Instead, he sees the gun. The silence stretches for miles, no speeches, no dramatic movie dialogue, just two businessmen negotiating the final merger. You pull the trigger. The king is dead. Long live the king. You sit in his chair, still warm from his body. Congratulations. You just became the youngest cartel boss in history. The cost of absolute power. For a while, everything works. The empire explodes. New routes, new profits, new territories. Your strategy turns the cartel into something unstoppable, but success creates attention. Governments notice, agencies collaborate. Suddenly your name is on every intelligence report on Earth. The DEA, the FBI, international task forces. The whole planet starts hunting you like you're the final boss of a video game. And then the worst part happens. Your own executives start selling stock. Your lieutenants flip. Your allies cooperate. Turns out loyalty isn't forever, it's just rented. The final audit. The raid happens at 4:12 a.m. Battering rams, flashbangs, red lasers cutting through the dark like accounting lines across your balance sheet. Your empire collapses in minutes. All those billions, all those soldiers, all those years of control. Gone. You drop to your knees before anyone fires a shot, not out of fear, out of clarity. Because for the first time, the numbers finally add up. Your entire life was just a hostile takeover. First your father took the world, then you took his throne, and now the system takes you. The market always corrects itself. That wraps it up for today. This story is a work of fiction, but the power dynamics it explores are very real. So here's the real question. If you were born into that empire, would you escape it or run it even better? Drop your answer in the comments. And subscribe so you don't miss the next story.